when I first started on the path, when I heard the term the work, you know, one of the shamans that I started working with, who's still, you know, one of my good friends and teachers, he's always talking about the work. And at first I'm like, oh man, I don't want it. The work sounds
hard.
It sounds terrible. I don't want to
the
do
work.
That. And then you start realizing, you're like, wait a second, like the work is the path. The path is the work. Like this is, if you're doing the work, then, and you get used to it. It's almost like, you know, I like to long distance run. I love going like 6 to 8 mile runs. And for the first mile, sometimes it'll be like, why the hell do I do this? This is the worst. Oh my God, your body's waking up, you're starting to breathe heavy, you're sweating. You're like, I could be like somewhere else enjoying myself under like a palm tree somewhere. And then mile 2, mile 3, you're like, oh, okay, wait, no, I remember. I get why I like this. And then by like, you know, mile 4, 5, 6, you're like in this zone, and you've done the work, you've gotten yourself moving, and then then everything's flowing. You know, problems are dripping away, and you're like, this is why the work. This is why I always have to be aiming for the work instead of trying to avoid the work, because in the work is the blessing.
And it's so good what you're sharing, man, and it does take that effort in the beginning, but it's so much more effort if you don't do it. Then it's really work. Life can be really, really hard, really, really heavy. My wife and I, we love to work out, and we like the feeling of self-discipline, but it's something that we learned over time, and it became part of our lifestyle and our ritual. But even when we don't want to do it, we do it now because we know the payoff is just so fantastic. And you actually generate energy when you use energy in the right way. I think some people, they'll work out or go to work and it feels heavy and you're depleted at the end. But that's usually because it's not an aligned experience. When you line it up right and you do the things that are right for you, you become energized, you become enlivened. So we need that wisdom to know what's the right thing.
I feel like I liken it when I'm in that state, and I can only speak personally, obviously, but when I'm in a hard ceremony, whether it's a sweat lodge, whether it's an ayahuasca ceremony, or whether it's like a long distance run, it's almost like this feeling of either being like clenching because it's discomfort, or just being like, I know this is not that comfortable, but I'm just going to open up to it anyway and just kind of see. I think I'm going to probably survive. I'm just going to open up to it and see what happens. And it's like, can you do that? Can you be like, you know, I guess like a flower in a way, instead of being like shut and like tight, be like, you know, I'm gonna open all this up, let it all in, and it's all gonna flow through me, and I'm gonna learn from it, you know.
That's the only time that it works, man, is when you open up. For me, I mean, if I'm overthinking things or I'm trying too hard, I am blocking flow. And there's a moment that it's a bit scary, right? Because you have to let go, you have to surrender, you have to allow something bigger than yourself perhaps to take over. And that again is just part of doing the work and working the craft. Turn it into a craft, turn it into a ritual, something that's sacred to you, not just something you have to do like a chore. Make it part of your journey. Like, for example, in business, for us, my wife and I, Sabrina, we don't look at business as work anymore. It has become fused with this journey. So to me, everything's about awakening. We're talking about spiritual awakening a little bit here. Our business is our spiritual practice. Your healing journey can be your spiritual practice. Your relationships can be your spiritual practice. Now they all have a common denominator. And even if seeming work's involved, it's all for a higher purpose. So it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you know, fear is good, I mean, in small doses, but resisting and fearing the unknown has been a big thing on my path. I think it's a big thing on the healing path in general. Just being open to the unknown, being open to, I mean, I hate to use the word, but sometimes I look at it almost as like the chaos energy of, you know, of the mystery. You know, it's like there's stuff out there that if you tap into it, you know, it's extremely powerful. And you know, the fear itself is half of the enemy in my.
If we didn't fear fear, what would be possible? You know, I had a teacher once say, it's not that you fear the unknown. Your mind already has a projection, an idea of what you think the unknown is. So you have a known that you're projecting. And so to really get out of the way and to really trust and really open yourself up and allow, and I'm using kind of movements like this because that's what the energy arts do for us. They allow us to feel more like a conduit, where something really is flowing to you and through you. And so you have to drop your thinking to get into those deeper states of access. You have to step out of all your ideas and all of your knowns to truly experience the unknown. And the unknown is beautiful. There's magic inside of it. God. Magic, right?
When you come out the other side,
it's incredible.
It's some of the most exhilarating experiences of my life have happened after, and it's not even like doing like the physically dangerous stuff like rock climbing. It's like literally being in a situation where I had to challenge my own comfort level, you know, in a very intimate ceremonial setting, or being worked on. You know, I mean, having energy healers work on me a few different times when I was in the middle of my migraine situation, it was like just surrendering to these emotions, and I had to be brave to do it. I mean, it takes bravery, right?
I think two things can happen. One is like a crisis can show up in your life that is like a catalyst, that if you're paying attention, you will use it, it will use you to run your butt up the wall and over to the other side where the good stuff is that we want. Or you've had someone that has gone over the other side and they're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing over here. And they come back and they're like, dude, it's so good over here. And you actually trust them enough to go over the wall. So either life's going to force you over the damn wall, or you're going to use some trust. And I think that this is beautiful, because when people come into this kind of conversation and there's a level of respect and trust for the work that's happening, that's been done, it's so helpful to know that that's there. On my healing journey, there were movies and books and people that were sharing with me, it's really good on the other side of the wall. Yeah. And I believed them, I trusted them, I could see something had shifted, and it was so encouraging and inspiring to do the work. We're talking about work here, get over that wall, and the reality is there's no wall. We're using an analogy, the wall will just dissolve. It's not there really. So.
These are conversations that Tristan and I have on a regular basis.
Yes.
I'll call Tristan in the middle of the week and I'll be like, hey, let's talk about this, and we'll just get right off into the deep end of just existence. And
it's so refreshing.
It's the best.
We need the reminders.
So yeah, we thought we'd invite you in on one of those chats right now, and I hope that I hope it touched you and helped you in some way.
Cool. Thank you.